All right. It's 6:30. We'll start with a public hearing. We have two ordinances that we're looking to amend. Ordinance number 2022-08, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2017-05, section 5. Basically, this is the one about sales tax. The state has changed to where they have a certain rate that we have to all charge throughout all the parishes, and we have to amend it to fall in line with the state requirement. You know, there's no option on that. What they're doing is they're trying to eventually want to move sales tax from each of the parishes to the state level, and this is their way of forcing us at least to be consistent for interest. You know, right now that's been defeated as far as doing it, but they still passed the law that says everybody has to comply with it. And so in order for us to comply, we have to make the ordinance. Does anybody have any comments they want to make? You know, please come forward and, you know, give comments to this ordinance that's being amended. If not, the public hearing is closed, and we'll go on into the regular meeting of the town council for December 12th, 2022. Call to order, established a quorum, everybody is present. If you'd stand, I'd ask Joe to lead us in invocation.
Please bow your heads. Lord, I pray you guide us always. Strengthen us as we make tough decisions. Please guide us so this meeting can be productive, effective, and decisive. Lord, hear our prayer. Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You've got, of course, the agenda in front of you, but we need to add two items for approval for invoice payments. One related to the payment for the ballpark improvement, and the other is for D.W. Jessen to pay him for the trust fund application that we submitted for the store watershed drainage. So I'd ask if I have a motion to add these to the agenda.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The next item is adopt the agenda as amended.
I move to adopt the agenda as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The next item is approval of minutes as submitted for the regular meeting, November 14th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The first order of business is discuss the offering of the Energy's acquisition of transmission line servitude as proposed for $25,120. Of course, we were submitted this, and there were questions about it. This is the old servitude that was originally done back in the early 1900s. In this case, they're wanting to pay us and make it an infinity. I asked them to put in, I guess, a clause in there for 100 years so that those people on the council can reevaluate it at that time. I understand there's some issues with it. Mr. Buffet, you want to kind of talk about that?
Basically, it's my understanding, discussing that they're not willing to do that, to put in the clause that you requested. So at that point, I guess it would have to be, if they want to proceed, they would have to file an expropriation proceeding on court proceeding if we're not in agreement to accept this as is proposed by the utility company.
So in that case, would one of the items be, could you require them to have that expropriation to have terms of, 100 years, just like the original?
I'm not sure that we can do that. We'd have to research that carefully. I think if an expropriation is actually taking place as opposed to a right-of-way, then it would be whatever the court decided. And if they made the request for one, in perpetuity, we'd have to see what the court would say. I don't know. That's a bit unusual. But normal expropriation is for perpetuity. It does not have a term like a right-of-way.
So So, and I guess it's up to y'all as to, you know, do you want to accept it as it's written, or do you want to pursue seeing if we can get them to put in some sort of a term, some sort of limits like originally, you know, originally when it was signed, it was a 100-year term for the right-of-way. And that's what they're saying, they don't want to go to that from this point on. It's y'all's call as to, you know, what you would like to have done with it.
I agree with the 100-year,
You know, pursue that, see if we can, you know, make them go through the efforts to see if they,
that's me.
anybody else.
Do we have to, is that a motion you're making, or?
I'm
Well-
just talking.
That's
Yeah,
what-
this is a discussion to say,
Okay,
you know,
okay.
do we, you know, what do we want to go ahead and do? you
Okay.
know?
Correct, if you would wish to do that, it's gonna, if they're gonna do the expropriation, they're gonna have to institute that proceeding. I think you could take a motion to say not to accept the agreement, and then at that point, they can take their action, perhaps we can
Reevaluate.
in the future address it more, they may be more willing to do something, some type of adjustment, if they said they're not going to, we could say, well, we're not going to, if this is the wishes of the council, we say we would not accept the agreement as presented and take that action, and, we'd have to.
You could always revisit and go back
we
at
could-
some
we could
point.
try to negotiate, if they file a proceeding, we would end up in some kind of negotiation either, as a way if we do that, but they may come back and offer something different because we said we're not willing to accept it. You know, it would still be an ongoing process. I only have to tell you that I think an expropriation is actually a taking, and I don't think it's a taking within a time limit. So we'd have to look at that carefully.
Mr. Bouquet, would they still have to pay that sum of money to the town for it?
No, that's a
So the
proposal.
town would lose it, would lose the money?
Well, it probably, yes, in the sense it would delay the payment at a minimum. In other words, if we came back and they were successful in expropriation, in expropriation, it's a bifurcated trial, go through a public body, would be before a judge, but the valuation of what they would have to pay for the expropriation, if my memory's correct, because I haven't done one of those in a long time, but I have tried them, is that there's a jury to decide the value of the taking. In other words, there's an expropriation where there's a determination, a judicial determination, that the utility has a right to take it. I think that from what I know about this and where it is, I think that they would have to say to have the right to take it. The issue before the court could be just how much they would have to pay for it. I'm sorry, but I don't know that we could avoid an expropriation if they would come back and say, yes, we will do a 100-year right-of-way agreement. And then again, there would be a question of what would be the question of the value for the right-of-way as opposed to the full taking. All of those issues could be litigated. What I would suggest we do is say that, well, no, we'd like to reach an agreement, but we don't want it to be, we would like to proceed with a right-of-way agreement as previously, not going to see what happens, or simply say we decide to take no action at this time. Might be the safest thing to say. But it's going to come back, and you may, with the question about whether you will get the payment or not, I would say that the action of not accepting it, the payment would be delayed. Is the payment appropriate? To answer that, I would have to, actually what would have to be done, what's normally done in an expropriation case, is we hire an appraiser, they hire an appraiser, and we submit them before the jury as a, I mean, I've really gone through all of that, but it's been a long time. And they would decide as to what would be the reward. So I would be looking for someone who could say it's worth more than 1,000, and they would come up with someone who said it was less than that. That could happen. And then the jury would decide what you would actually receive. But the main thing is that it's going to delay the process.
Yeah, I mean,
Where's this piece of property? Or
It's along the Highway 90 in front of the community center, in front of the police station. It's those main transmission lines.
Yes, sir. I mean, I still feel the same way because, I mean, what's the technology gonna be in 100
Well,
years?
that's kind of what I was saying, you know, at some point, we may want to go back and there may not have transmission lines, or they may be underground, or there may be something completely, 100 years, look at the difference that happened from 100 years ago. But that's y'all's call, I mean, that's why I'm bringing it forward, to get feedback as to whether we, should, you know, sign off on it now, or go ahead and pursue like Mr. Bouquet, you know, to kind of just push them and let's see what we get.
What wording do you need out of?
I would say a motion that we table it, a motion to table it, to review and reconsider at a later date.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. The next order of business is new business, a motion to adopt ordinance 2022-08, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2017-05, section 5, ordinance number 2017-06, section 5, and ordinance number 2022-01, section 6, provided for the decrease of interest on delinquent sales tax payments.
I move to adopt ordinance 2022-08.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And of course, anybody that has any questions, you know, you are welcome at any time to come up to the podium and raise those questions anytime as we're doing it. That's, you know, something that we've always allowed people to do, so. The next item on the agenda is Jeff Cudla. Jeff is not here. I think you got some information that Jeff sent you, Cindy?
Yes, actually, he reported that the two ball fields in the back will not be ready as he thought at this time. He's still waiting on some drainage issues and some surveying and things.
You're
that
talking about
need
like
to
for
be
the,
done.
for advertise for the bids, you mean?
Correct.
Okay.
He's not ready to do that yet,
Okay.
so he wanted to make sure y'all knew that it wasn't gonna be
Because
ready.
we'd originally had him commit to have it by December, you
Yeah.
know, and it's not. Okay, the next item is upon the recommendation of Jeff Cudla, a motion to pay the retainage to K&J Development for the public storage and break room building project. That's all the stuff they done. You know, I guess they've builded, they've, I guess, cleared the liens and everything, and we just need to pay the retainage on that. Be aware that is something that's in a lawsuit right now with our insurance carrier to recover at least a good percentage of that excess cost. So, you know, while we're paying it now, we hope to get a pretty significant amount of it back as part of the insurance claim related to the hurricane.
Okay, I'll make that motion to pay, is it KJ?
Yeah, K&J Development.
K&J, yeah, $33,347.03.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We also have another one that he gave us is ball field improvements phase number 1. That's the Buddy Ball Field. The application for billing work to date, the requested amount is $266,544.35, and he's approved it for submit it to for us for payment to K&J Development.
We don't have that one, correct?
No, that's one they sent.
That was
and
the
then
one y'all amended
Yeah, we added to the,
you amended the
Right, I got
agenda
you.
for.
The one for 266,
Yes.
544.35?
yep, that's one.
Okay. I'll make that motion to pay KJ Development 266,544.35.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Pass it. All right. The next item on the agenda, Mr. Walt, if you would like to kind of give us an update for everything.
All I said was, wow, when I drove down the street and saw those Christmas lights. That looks pretty cool.
Well, and the new, what they call it, the LED lightings along the road help it too, you know,
Yeah, it was
so.
like, whoa, I actually used to park across the street. And I said, no, I'm gonna drive through the park. Pretty fancy. Item number 1 on the agenda is for the oxidation pond project, pay request number 1 in the amount of $899,069.04 to Spinks Construction. It's our recommendation that this be placed in line for payment.
Motion paid.
So move.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Just to give you all a heads up on the cash flow, well, this is $899 going out. Today, we got one of our checks from GOSIP for the money we spent for cleanup of the town. We got $960,000 roughly, which is 80% of what they should have sent. They keep like 20%. So from a cash flow perspective, this is kind of washed. And of course, this item will also be a FEMA claim that they've committed to pay us back. So we'll get it, but it may not be for another year and a half, depending on the speed of GOSIP. So just want to make sure y'all aware of those type of things.
This is for the majority of the material, and that's, we anticipated a big invoice like this. They've got the material in, so now we can make some installation progress. And so, the next item is DW Justin invoice. I believe there's an extra pair of 36s in that agenda.
Oh, yes, there are.
But if you want to go ahead and, that would be a big Christmas present. The actual amount is $36,980.93. I think the first two 36s go away. It was almost a Christmas present.
Motion to pay.
I'll make that motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. You also have one, I think, for the 2023 CPPJ Trust Fund. We've
Right,
added
right.
that, so if you want to. This is the 2023, the CPPJ Trust Fund application that we're getting for the South Store watershed drainage improvement. His invoice amount is $3,816.23.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Yeah, that one we hopefully will be getting shortly. I think the new, that's the one that was submitted that we had to have in before November 1st to be able to qualify, so.
And just to give you, the asphalt project on Sherman, Ori Height, we awarded that last month. They have the contract documents in their hands, and that's where that one stands. And I believe,
Do you know when they're gonna start that?
well, we had put in the specifications that it would be a late winter start.
We're talking about January, February,
Yeah,
something like that?
no earlier than February.
Okay.
And it's, weather dependent too, because,
You want it to be warm enough that,
well, that is, weather limitations are important when you start talking about cement base, soil cement base. But also, traditionally, or I guess typically, if this is an average year, we have pretty sloppy construction months in January, February. So we surely don't want to turn into a mud pit and have those poor residents suffer. So, and we looked at also the crazy prices that
Yeah.
we're getting right now. We thought, let's put it a little bit right there so that maybe there'll be a little bit of stability, but,
so maybe March is kind of what
Yeah,
we're saying
yeah.
is a start date on that,
So
so
it'll
that
be
y'all
done.
can let your
yeah,
residents know.
yeah. But that's a good project, so.
Okay.
And I think is there one more on there?
Yeah, motion to authorize advertisement for the pipe bursting project.
Yeah, what that project is the sewer lift station right here, out at City Park, we call it City Park. That serves everything north of the tracks. Everything north of Interstate 10, which wasn't even considered in
Original
the
development.
original 1970 plan, so which, the size of that line is a 10-inch. And we want to increase the size to relieve the stress that because we're piling on. And this is a really good project. It'd benefit the whole community and be a long-term.
This is the ARP funds that we're using,
Right.
is that part of that? Okay. So I guess a motion to authorize advertising for bids for that.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Anything else?
Merry Christmas.
Oh, you have a good one too. Thank you for coming.
Can't believe it's already, huh? So,
comes quick, I
Yes,
tell
it
you.
does, it does. They got your red on too, that's good.
All right.
Y'all be good.
Yes, sir. Next item is, Pat's gonna give the wastewater and public works together.
Good evening, everyone. I'm a little hoarse here. We've been jetting out culverts during the last month. We've repaired 3 water leaks. We've replaced or installed 31 meters. We replaced a fire hydrant on Fairview, and we repaired one on North Welty. I put in 4 more requests with Energy for LED lights at different locations throughout the town. The pond work is ongoing, as you heard Walt say. We've got a small drainage project that we're gonna be starting in the near future on First Street right here. Just from Thompson, as you turn on the First, there's a little issue right there that we have to address. I attended a meeting last week with Homeland Security, the Community Awareness and Emergency Response, to discuss sirens throughout the town. And there'll be more upcoming on that. We'll probably be seeing something transpire in the next few weeks. And I've got a condition assessment report on the city water tank, and I'm gonna be going over that here in the next couple of days and figuring out which way we need to go and which one's more important than the other. Questions? All
Any questions?
right, thank you.
All right, thanks. Okay, I see in our packet, Cindy, about Cudlow Architect for his professional fees. Was that supposed to be put in on the agenda also for $8,851?
Yes, I'm so sorry, yes.
Okay.
That was it, that was a extra add-on that I received right after the agenda was posted.
Okay, so I guess, do we need to make
I'll make that
request,
motion.
adopt the agenda?
Yeah, I'll make that motion to pay Cudle Architect $8,851.67.
Do we have to add it first?
I think we have to add it first.
Oh.
So,
Motion to-
motion to
Okay, add it
amend,
to the
to add.
agenda. Okay.
I move to amend the agenda by adding, I don't know the exact wording.
Cudlow Architecture
Cudlow.
professional fees for $8,851.67.
What he said.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, now a motion to be able to pay it.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
All right, second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, done deal. The next item, Officer Crooks, update on condemnations of properties. So you want to kind of give us lead us in this?
We've got 2 condemnations that we're gonna talk about. We'll start with Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller, if you want to come up to speak. Last meeting, he didn't make it to the last meeting. We were talking about 502 Railroad Avenue. Y'all asked me to get, an inspection done by the parish inspector. That's completed. The paperwork does say that it is cost prohibitive for repair, and they recommend demolition, and he's here to discuss it with y'all.
Okay. So what you got, Mr. Miller?
I ain't got nothing. You told me to tear the house down, I tore it down. I just gotta finish cleaning it up.
Well, that's 5, we're talking about the other one.
What, my 2-story?
Yes, sir.
Oh, but that's God house. He said, nobody better not touch it, 'cause he'll come and tear highway down.
He said his 2-story house is God's house, and if we touch it, he's gonna do something to die with.
So, you know, I mean, we're
My house is fixable. As soon as I tear this down, I'm gonna fix it.
well, you know, we gotta have something done though. It's been on the list for,
Well, I said, I tore the house down and I'm getting ready to move all the stuff that I tore down. I moved the trucks and whatever, whatnot, I did.
well, it's up to the council. What are the council's wishes on this?
Recently, I mean, I don't know if it was earlier this year or last year when Mr. Arnie came, is he still willing to help you move all the debris from the house that you took down?
Well, I just about I got it all gone since I moved that truck. I'm fixing to tear the floor up and move it out.
Well, the debris that's there right now from the demolition, is he still willing to help you haul all that
I
debris
don't
off?
know what that, yeah, I guess so.
I mean, he offered to help you. I was saying, have you been in contact with him to have him help you?
Oh,
Just
no,
bec-
ma'am.
Okay, it's just that, you know, if kids go by there during the day and you're not home and they go on your property and get in there, they could get hurt. you know, and then that would become your responsibility, and we don't want that to happen to them or to you, you know.
Yeah, but that's, you know, that's not a condemnation though. Once it's tore down like that, it now falls under our ordinance that, you know, if we have to, we would go in there and clean it up and charge it against the property
The
tax.
condemnation on that specific building's over.
Yeah, that, we finished the
Oh, okay.
condemnation.
We're
We're
discussing
talking,
the one that's
we're
next
talking
to
about
the-
a 502, which is a
Oh,
two-story that, you know, is.
Well, you could go and, you could go get somebody to go in there, ain't nothing wrong with my house. This building, this storm messed it up.
You
One-
took the other one, you tore it down, but it's a wreck, it's a mess.
Well, give me a chance to pick it up.
Yeah,
I
how
gotta
much
go
time
to
have we
work, I
given
gotta
you?
work
We've
all
given you
over
a
the
lot of
place.
time. But how
Well, how
long?
come all the rest of them houses around now, we all tore up and down? You give them permission to fix them, but they say they'll stay there a whole year before they fix them.
What's been his timeline?
First couple months of 2021 is when it all started.
Yeah, it's time.
So,
That's up to y'all. If y'all wanna tear it down, go tear it down. That's between y'all and God. God say, that's where his house. You gonna come and tear
It's
our way
only-
down. That's up to y'all. That's what y'all wanna do.
so I got one question for you. You said you were going, you know, if you were going to fix up the two-story building, when would that be done?
As soon as I get through moving the floor out.
No, I don't mean soon, I mean get a date, you know, I mean, if we're gonna hold you to a date, if they were going to give you an extension, they would have to have a date that you could do that, reasonable date.
All I can say after Christmas.
Well, no, but I'm saying, what, you know, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, you know, I mean, you know, that's what we're asking for you. What do you feel comfortable?
Give me 3 months, I have it.
So what do you wanna do?
Do you have somebody to help you fix the house?
Me and God.
So
Mr.
if
McKinney,
we, I'm sorry, go ahead, Daniel.
Is there any way this could become an executive session? I don't have it memorized.
No, not at this point. It would have to be on the agenda as a proposed executive session.
Yes, sir.
Do you wanna give him time, or go ahead and just do with the condemnation? That's basically the two options.
If we give you another extension, and when it comes down to that point, you'll be willing to come to that meeting that we would
Yes, ma'am.
hold you accountable?
Whatever you want.
Okay, how much time? Anybody have a suggestion?
I mean, 3 months, I mean, that's not, you know, it's not out of the realm, but, of course, the other issue related to the, cleaning up, if that's not done within, you know, a month or so, then the town's gonna come in and clean up that area, and we'll just have to charge it against the property tax.
Well, I get rid of all.
Okay, we'll give you,
Go ahead, get rid of it.
okay, so if we'll give you 3 months on the house to fix it up, or do whatever is going to make progress, you know, even if it's not complete, at least if you're showing significant progress, they would feel comfortable in extending it again, if that's in fact what happens. If nothing happens,
Well, I be so busy since everything dying down, now I can work on it.
okay, is the council okay with giving him a 3-month extension on the
Or that would-
502?
Right, and, I mean, do y'all in agreement, that'll be his last extension?
Yeah.
That we, okay,
Unless he's showing significant, you know, if he's showing significant, you know.
okay. So I'll make that motion to give Mr. Miller 3 months to do some repairs, significant repairs on the two-story house,
The 502.
502, and the other one is 50, that
Yeah,
one's done?
To be cleaned
Yeah,
up.
it's tore down. We're just, that's
Okay.
what I'm saying. We'll talk with, Brandon to say, hey, if it's not cleaned up in a month, to go ahead and go through the process to go
Okay.
ahead and do it herself if he doesn't.
Okay,
All right.
Thank
So I
you.
say thank you.
thank you.
Okay, so I guess we got a
There's a
motion.
motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay.
Okay.
The other property is 414 South Sherman Avenue. Last meeting, we voted to condemn, but Mr. Blaine Augustine, the representative for his dad's company,
Okay.
contacted me. He says he's making progress with it. He wants to talk to y'all about
That's it. Yeah, good one.
changing direction.
Yeah, come on up. You know, let us know. It's,
Yeah, I've been working with him, but I apologize because I didn't get the notice from Mom and them. They're getting up up in age and they're kind of confused, and I'm doing the best I can. But he's gonna go ahead and send me the notices, and Dad too, so I'll get the notices, and I'm pretty much taking care of all their business. But I apologize, or I would have come to the last meeting. We did do some work on that particular house on the inside, and we have a renter on, on the property that y'all are buying from Dad. And that renter is gonna move in on to South Sherman. So he is over there, he's mowed the grass. My brother went in there, did some work on the inside, and that particular renter is pretty excited because that house is better than the one he's living in now.
So when do you think you be complete with it? I mean, I know that you've done some improvements.
Actually, it is complete now.
Okay.
It's ready for him to move in because, and all he's waiting for is the transaction to be completed with the town. Once that is completed, then he's gonna
Okay.
move from there over to South Sherman.
So do we need to do anything at this point, or, you know, as far
One
as,
of the things I spoke with him on the phone is, we did get it inspected last year, and they said that it should be demolished, but the inspector wasn't able to get inside the house. He was basing it off the exterior. So his request was that we get it re-inspected, now that he's done work to it, to try and avoid demolition and everything.
is that all right with y'all?
It's, remind me what the address is.
The answer is, you know, I guess granting him an additional time period so that we can get the inspection done on the inside to
I
confirm
really
that
don't
it
find that
doesn't
house
need-
that bad compared to the other one. The other one's in worse
Oh,
shape.
414, that's
South
South
Sherman.
Sherman.
I move to re-inspect, I think that's the right wording, 414 South Sherman.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Like we talked about, I'll get with you, so you and him can meet up and y'all want.
Yeah, cause Mom's, it's locked, but I can get the key and meet up with him, and we can go from there.
Yeah, if there's anything that you do need to update, he can tell you like, hey, you need to fix this and this and then. we can go
Sure.
from there.
Yeah, I
Fantastic.
appreciate you working with me.
All right.
Thank y'all.
And we hope
Appreciate
so to keep working with you too, you
Yes,
know
sir.
that, so.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, the next item, I guess, on the agenda, Keith Vincent, report and updates, please.
This is the chief's report, if y'all want to hand it down.
Merry Christmas.
Hey,
Monthly stats, 39 total offenses, 379 summons citations, 5 traffic accidents, 1 with injuries, 12 arrests, and 208 calls for service. Also, Saturday, we participated in the annual Shop with the Cop and took some needy kids shopping, and that was a good experience, and it appeared the kids really enjoyed that. And that's pretty much what I got. I'm following up on that architect information that was approved.
yeah. Yeah, that was one we approved a few months back with the,
Yes.
I can't think of their name, the one that's over in Westlake,
Mara and Associates.
Meyer and Associates. And the reason we retained them is because they had the political connections to help us get some grants and things. You know, that's been their experience from doing all of that, so we definitely want to maximize being able to get any kind of grants and things like that to help us build that station once everything is done on the land.
I was out all week for a conference and my computer was on the glitch, so I wasn't able to follow up too much on that today. I just got the information from Cindy. I will complete following up on it.
All right. Anybody got any questions? Thanks a lot, Keith.
All right, thank
Yes,
you.
sir. All right, Fire Chief Sonny Coffey, or somebody here to give a update for the fire department? Sonny, you're looking wiser anyway.
He's looking older too, right?
Well, I didn't want to say that, you know.
I will, trust me. By the way, good evening, everyone. He's out of town because of business, so he apologizes for not being here this evening. For the month of November, we had a total of 29 calls in the district, 10 of which were medicals. We had 8 crashes, 3 of which were on Interstate 10. We had 2 fire alarms, 1 false alarm, 3 structure fires, 1 vehicle fire, one grass fire, 2 natural gas leaks, and we had 2 calls that were canceled en route, so.
Been a busy month.
It was a busy month. We had a total of 29. That brought us to 411 for the year, as opposed to 471 last year at the same time. So the calls are coming down, which means fire prevention's helping. We're going to continue to work on that. I also want to let you know that this Saturday, we are planning to do the Santa Crawl that we used to do. And they haven't gotten back to me to make sure as to what time they're going to start, but I think they're going to start on the south side of town and work their way through. So, and they're going to go through the media, of course, to track so everyone knows that they're coming. So we're going to do that. And we have some other things that we're thinking about doing that we're not sure of just yet, so we'll let you know. We have signed the contract with Jeff Cudla for phase 1. Thank you, Lord, of getting this station over here repaired. So that means we'll put the shovel in the ground as soon as we can, weather permitted, at Station 2 for the extension to bring the units over and out of the way and get ready for demolition.
What's the status on the new fire truck? I mean, I know it's
The new
ordered.
well, it's ordered. It should be here probably the month of July.
Oh, that's good, okay.
And at our board meeting next Tuesday, we'll take care of the CEAs that we have as far as the board will.
Yeah.
Get that all taken care of. We appreciate y'all for your help in that
Thank you much.
immensely.
Anybody
Any
got
questions?
What is the Santa Crawl? What is that?
Santa Crawl is when Santa is on the fire truck, and he goes through the neighborhood, through all the streets in the town, and we hand candy. And, we're going to take special care that Santa says a special hello for those that are handicapped, the children.
It's gonna be Saturday?
They're scheduling it for Saturday unless something happens, so.
Well, you know, they're also doing, movies in the park here.
What time
Brent
is that going to be?
Stantz, I don't remember them. I think it was like 6 or 7 o'clock.
In the evening?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll
And
have
so-
that, we'll be done with Santa Crawl
Yeah.
way before that, because we do that, we start in
Well,
the
no,
morning.
I was just saying that with a bunch of kids, 40 or 50 kids there, you may give you a chance to,
Might be able to have Santa go there too.
Yeah, yeah, I'm just,
The Santa's suit is in my office, okay? So, we'll be ready for that.
all right, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Deb.
The next item on the agenda is introduction of ordinance number 2022-09, an ordinance fixing the meeting place, days, and times for the town council meeting. I guess this is a discussion we had that, do you want to meet twice a month for the non-holiday months, which except November and December, to be able to speed up ordinances and things like that. Right now, we have to wait a month from the reading till the time that it's accepted. And we're finding out that with as many changes as we're making to ordinances and things that we're trying to do. In addition, the second meeting would be more conductive for Cudla to be able to make the 4th Monday of the month in addition to the second. And the meetings would probably be a little shorter because you'd split things up between the month. So I just wanted to see if, if that's if that's acceptable. That's what we proposed. It'll be at 6:30.
Can we discuss maybe pushing that to 7 o'clock?
That's y'all's call. If you want to amend it to 7 o'clock. Is that,
7 would be helpful.
okay, then we'll amend the ordinance to say 7 instead of at 6:30 for both the second and the 4th Mondays of the month.
Okay, and y'all aren't going to do it for
November
November
and December, because those are the
Okay,
big holiday
I'm gonna have to
months.
amend that part too. Okay. No 2 meetings on November.
Yeah, it's just those are usually the Thanksgiving week and the Christmas, and so, I know people have got things going on, and it's not, the other ones will probably take care of the majority of things, so.
The only thing is like the month of May, Cynthia, Memorial Day is at the end of May, so that
You wanna do
might-
May too?
That, you think it would fall, because usually, 4 to
Yeah, it's
5,
close.
but we'd have to look and see if that's gonna fall on the 4th Monday
Yeah.
of the
Well,
month.
Well, let's just add, you can add May,
You
just
wanna
say
add
May,
to it?
November, and December.
December.
And because you can, you're always allowed to add meetings if you need to at some point. This is just establishing the standard ones. Okay. With those changes, then, I say a motion to accept with the changes, as the changes as proposed for the ordinance number 2022-09. This is actually just an introduction, correct?
Right.
So we don't need to have a vote on it, okay. My apologies. So we'll make those ordinances, adjustments in the next meeting. You'll have the public meeting and then accept it, so. The next one is ordinance number 2022-010, an ordinance setting the compensation. Basically, we went and looked at them and, there are a number of municipalities that do have 800 a month. A lot of them have between 400 and 800. The things here in Iowa with everything going on, that means you're all going to have to participate in more meetings and more assistance, as things go. And, I guess this is an ordinance proposing that we increase it from the 520 to 800. This is just a reading. Are y'all comfortable with that? Or you want to make any adjustments to it? What's your feelings on that? If you don't say it, I'm gonna go ahead and just, good, we'll go with it like it is then. The next item, motion to approve resolution 2022-26, a resolution to declare surplus material and sign it to be sold online for Lamont's. This is a 2014 Ford Taurus and a 2013 Ford F-150. This Lamont's is where we've gotten our most money from. If you remember some of the things we sold, we got some really nice prices for things that normally we didn't get hardly anything. So it is a reverse type auction situation, so you're getting the max, and it's also spread not just here locally, but throughout the state when they look at it, so.
Now, the Taurus was the one that the police was going to give to, Oberlin, but they changed their mind, so now it's declared surplus.
I have a question. I have a gentleman that approached me a few months ago interested in purchasing one of our vehicles when they became
I have it
available.
on my-
You have his name and number? Okay, great.
So what I'll do, I'll, contact him and let him know where he can go online to put his bid out,
Oh, good, okay.
and I'll walk him through it.
Okay, good. Thank you for that.
I move to approve resolution 2022-26.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. The next item is motion to approve resolution 2022-27, a resolution regarding personnel policies and benefits for the town of Iowa employees and supersedes any other. Basically, what happened on this one, the personnel policy was not in a line related to the per diem per the state. And of course, they did not, they said that in this case, they would recommend that we adjust our personnel manual to line the per diem up with the state recommendation. I think it was $5 difference or something like that. So I believe that's the only, was that the only?
There's one other one.
What was the other one? I don't.
I have it highlighted.
It's the employee benefit and compensation,
Yes.
18 and 19.
Yes, remember.
Oh, this is the one about the vehicles that they,
No, the $1 that y'all did as a, for, incentive, that $1 incentive at nighttime pay.
oh, for the police department,
We
yeah.
included it in the personnel policy.
Okay, that was the police department incentive, I think that Keith brought up at that point back, a while back. We just need to put it in our policy to be consistent with our actions and what was approved, so.
Yeah,
Those
right
two
here,
are the only changes.
page 19.
And we did approve it, it just, we didn't change our policy to align with what the council approved when that was done.
I move to approve resolution 2022-27.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the next item, motion to approve the master services agreements with Finster Maker and Associates LLC and authorize the mayor to execute the agreement. If you remember right, this is the one where they're asking for funds for us to be able to do an analysis for a bypass or a, to connect Miller with 90. This is the group that do it, and they're also requesting or helping us get government funds, and I say government, state funds related to the GIS mapping of all the valves and everything. They're doing it, but we have to have a service agreement in place with them. We've talked about it, and this is just putting the service agreement in place. They're already working with us to ask the legislature, and I've gotten with Troy Romero on that, to allocate funds to pay for that study for both items. So this is just the MSA with them.
I move to approve the MSA with Finster Maker and Associates and authorize Mayor Hess to execute that agreement.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, report of finances. Of course, you've got the finances. The good news, cash flow, is we did get one of the 5 or 6 GOSIP stuff that, it's taken us a year and a half that they've argued with us over dollars as opposed to $1 million. So, that was very positive news. That's going to offset some things. And yes, you have the opportunity. Our sales tax is running low. And part of that is just with the economy going down, our sales tax number on the interstate isn't coming through as quick. You have people not traveling as much, so they're not stopped buying Cokes and stuff like that when they stop for gas. That's a large majority of it. Not as buying as much groceries either. When you're in a inflationary period, people don't tend to cut back. So we're seeing the effects of it. I don't think at this point it's material. 10 December, January, and February tends to be higher months. I would say wait and see what happens in those months before you do anything. Because, you have Christmas, and then January you tend to have car sales in December and January that make up quite a bit of it if you look historically. So. The other item is our casino funds are expected to increase, because they've brought back on that new casino. Today was the day that, I guess it's Horseshoe. Yeah, so we'll start seeing that flow through on our casino funds. Our casino funds have been pretty relatively straight, but I suspect you'll see an increase on that. So. The only issue we're really having is in the sewer and water, and part of that is the garbage collection cost. We're subsidizing some of that we're doing, that we said we were going to do, to understand where it's not the cans themselves, it's the other things that we're picking up on the side of the roads. I did make a suggestion. Of course, it'll be for the new person to consider of, maybe we need to put something in place. And at first, don't pick up anything on empty lots because they're not paying for any garbage. And the second is maybe putting in some sort of mechanism where we can verify that the person that's putting out there is paying a garbage fee. In other words, maybe they would call up and say, I'm putting this pile of stuff out here, and give an address. And then if nothing is on that list, that either they would have to clean it up, or that we would charge them for, a third party, for doing the third party costs. But that cost is getting pretty significant on us trying to keep our costs low. The other item is, and I forgot to ask Pat, what's the status on the meters of getting all the rest of the residential meters put in? Because
We're working on it more now than we were. I've got the 3 young guys doing it, and they're going pretty quickly.
because that's going to have to go in.
30 to 31 in this past month, and they started 2 weeks ago, so they're doing really well.
Yeah, because that's got to be in place at some point if we're going to do the evaluation of, you may not change the base rate, but you may change what you charge for, excess usage above whatever, and that'll help out in the long run also. But that's something that, you'll have to be aware of. Other than that, unless y'all have got some specific questions, I'll let y'all look at it, and we can always get back, or you can always talk with Cindy. She can give you details on any of that. We did have, I saw some insurance claims that we've claimed, 55,000, I think, of some insurance claims and things have come through. That's some of the insurance that is under the lawsuit that we're bringing in, you know, some of those claims that they're clearing out, so. All right. I guess at this point, does anybody in the audience have anything they would like to say? Please come up and give your name and let us know what you'd like to discuss.
My name's Tanner Cates, live at 412 South Sherman. In reference to the 414, I just want to ask that there's a thorough inspection on that house. I've lived there for 5 years, and that place is by all means condemnable.
Well, that's where,
Yeah.
you know, we're gonna get the experts in.
It's
That's
just, that place, I mean, Joe lives right there, that place has been bad for years, and the little cosmetic work they're doing to it is just that.
Well, that's
It's
where
cosmetic.
that's where I'm hoping that the inspector going inside can tell him specific, hey,
Yeah.
these are the things, and
Yeah.
and that's what we will follow through on to make sure.
Talk to me, tell me what he needs to do to make it.
Yeah, that place is bad. So, just thorough inspection on that.
Yeah, well, that's why we're gonna do the inspection, just saying, instead of just saying, yeah, we'll let you get off the condemnation, we'll get it inspected to make sure it's up to code.
Yeah, you know, they're very pretty strict on all
Okay.
that stuff, so, I mean, you know, you have to go through the process,
Yeah.
that's the thing, so.
Good.
All right, is there anything else? All right, anybody else have anything? All right, I guess at this point, anybody at the council?
I just want to commend you on a very clean campaign that you ran, you know.
Well, thank you. Well,
Thank you for your service.
Well,
Yes,
I
thank you.
appreciate it, and you know, the one thing I can say about this has been you know, while we've not agreed on everything, we could always agree on minimums to be able to move the town forward, and I look forward to y'all keeping the vision alive, and, you know, we've started a lot of things, and there's a lot of stuff that still needs to be complete, and there's other things that hadn't been started, and I hope to see that y'all have the vision to carry it out. You know, you always have my support, and I really do thank you, and I appreciate all the assistance and everything y'all have done, so. At this point, entertain for the last time a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thanks, everybody.